Dear students, welcome to today's lecture. Today we will verify current divider rule. Let's proceed to our lecture. First of all, let's define what current divider rule is. The current divider circuits are parallel circuits in which the source or supply current divides into a number of parallel paths. That is, in the parallel circuits, the current is dividing through each parallel path. You are already familiar with the concept that in parallel circuit, voltage remains the same and current is dividing through each parallel path. It has been mentioned that the electrical current in a parallel circuit divide. The circuit divider rule explains the way in which the current at any node divide among the different branches. I will explain the difference of node and branches as well as loop in forthcoming slides. The formula for current divider rule is as follows. IRN is equal to IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by RN. Here you can correlate the current divider rule formula with that of the voltage divider rule. In voltage divider rule, we had VRN is equal to VT multiplied by RN divided by R equivalent. However, here in current divider rule, we have IRN is equal to IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by RN. The difference lies right here that in current divider rule, R equivalent is in the numerator while Rn is in denominator. Rn is the number of resistor, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 or so on, and R equivalent is the total equivalent resistance of the circuit. Consider the given circuit where we have two resistors connected in parallel. The current through R1 and R2 can be found through current divider rule. The formula for the current drop across R1 is given as IR1 is equal to IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by R1. Here IT is the total current which is entering into the node, while R equivalent is the total resistance of the circuit and R1 is the resistance of first resistor. Similarly, the formula for current drop across R2 is given as IR2 is equal to IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by R2. Let's now understand the difference of node, branch and loop. Consider this circuit. We have the definition of a node as a node is an uninterrupted segment of a wire of any shape. Electrically speaking, all the components are connected to a single point. Here we have three nodes. First node is N1, which is the entrance point of the circuit. Second is node 2, at which three different points are interconnected in a single point. Third node is here, and here we have fourth node where a branch is connected. Now, a branch is any element connected between 2 points in a node. Here R4 and R3 are example of branches. Here R4 is connected among two nodes in node 2 and node 4. So this is a branch. Similarly, R3 is also connected among two nodes, that is node 3 and node 4. So this is also a branch. Whereas the first branch is voltage source, which is connected in between node 1 and node 4. A loop is any sequence of elements connected between nodes that start and ends at the same node. Here we have two sub loops and one main loop. There are a total of 3 loops. If we consider the whole circuit, this is the main loop, while if we consider this branch as well, then we have two loops which are loop 1 and loop 2. The first loop starts from voltage source, moves through R1 and R4 and ends at the voltage again, whereas the second loop starts from R4, runs through R2 and R3 and then ends at R4 or node 4. As I already mentioned, you only include a node once in a loop. There may be loops within loop, such as loop 1 and loop 2 are within the loop 3. As I already mentioned, if you don't consider this branch, then there is only one loop in this circuit, while if you consider this branch, then there are two loops. So in total there can be 3 loops in this circuit. Let's move to our first example. Consider the given circuit having 3 resistors in parallel. Here we have 3 resistors connected to a 10 volt supply. R1 is of 10 ohm, R2 is of 25 ohm and R3 is of 100 ohms. First of all, we need to calculate the R equivalent of these resistors, which can be calculated as R equivalent is equal to 1 divided by 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. After putting the values and simplification, we get R equivalent is equal to 1 divided by 0.15, which is equal to 6.667 ohm. Now the first step is to calculate the total current or equivalent current of this whole circuit, or the current entering into the first node. It can be calculated through Ohm's law. IT is equal to V divided by R equivalent. So we get 10 divided by 6.67. We have 1.5 amperes. Now calculating the current drops through individual resistor. First we will calculate IR1, which will be IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by R1. So we have 1.5 ampere as our total current, 6.667 as our equivalent and 10 as R1. So we get 1 ampere across IR1. Similarly, we get IR2 as IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by R2. 1.5 multiplied by 6.67 divided by 25. We get our current as 0.4. Now through I3 we get IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by R3. We get our current as 0.1 ampere. Now here, if you think, the higher the value of resistor, the lower is the current, while lower is the value of resistor, the higher is the current. It shows the inverse proportionality of current and resistance. As the circuit has 3 resistors connected in parallel combination, therefore the voltage across each resistor will be the same, that is 10 volts. Let's move to example number 2. Consider the following circuit in which resistors are in parallel series mode. Here we have 3 resistors, 5 kilo ohm, 4 kilo ohm and 4 kilo ohm connected to a 28 volt source. Now you may think that this is series parallel combination, however this is not, because we have negative point of our supply above and positive point of our supply below. So this loop will be like this. So it's parallel series combination. Our equivalent of the circuit can be found the same as that we calculate in our series parallel mode. It will be R equivalent is equal to 4 kilo ohm parallel to 4 kilo ohm plus 5 kilo ohms. These two resistors are in parallel, which equivalent will be equal to 2 kilo ohm and is then series with 5 kilo ohms. So R equivalent of the circuit will be 5 kilo ohm plus 2 kilo ohm is equal to 7 kilo ohms. Now finding the total current entering into the circuit, we can apply Ohm's law. IT is equal to V divided by R equivalent. So 28 volts divided by 7 kilo ohm, we get 4 milliampere as our total current entering into the first resistor or entering into the circuit. Now applying the current divider rule on both 4 kilo ohm resistors, we know that the current is dividing at the parallel resistors. Therefore, here we will take our equivalent of these two resistors only instead of taking our equivalent for the whole circuit. As I already mentioned that the R equivalent for calculation be based on two resistors that are in parallel combination. Therefore, IR1 will be equal to IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by R1. 4 milliampere multiplied by 2 kilo ohms, its equivalent, and 4 kilo ohms. So we get 2 milliampere current across 4 kilo ohm resistor or R3. Similarly, we can find our IR2 as IT multiplied by R equivalent divided by R2. 4 milliampere multiplied by 2 kilo ohm divided by 4 kilo ohm, we get 2 milliampere. Now calculating the voltages for each of the resistors, VR1 is equal to Vs multiplied by R1 divided by R equivalent. You are already familiar with this formula. The formula is for voltage divider rule, which we applied right here for 5 kilo ohm. So 28 multiplied by 5 kilo ohms divided by 7 kilo ohms, we get 20 volts across 5 kilo ohm resistor. And we get VR2 and VR3 the same because these are in parallel combination. So we get 28 minus 28 volts for each R2 and R3. As we are done with the theoretical understanding of current divider rule, let's move on to the simulations. We will do simulation in falstat.com/circuit, which is an online tool for simulating electrical circuits. Let's go and simulate both of these circuits and check whether the results are the same as we get in calculation or not. Here we are at our Falstat simulator. I have already checked on the blank circuit to clear the screen. Now we will start building our first circuit, which had 3 resistors in parallel. So I will go to draw and click on add resistors. I will place 3 resistors in parallel. Now we have to change the values of our resistors. First resistor was of 10 ohm, second resistor was of 25 ohm, and third resistor was of 100 ohms. We will connect our circuit through wire. We will add up wires like this so that we can connect our ammeter later on for the simulations. This is how we connect our circuit. Remember that you don't have to miss any point, otherwise you will not be able to get accurate readings. So we put our 2 terminals for connecting the ohm meter first, and later on we will add our voltage source. So we go to draw, output in labels, and place ohm meter here. Placing ohm meter here, we can see that our equivalent resistance is 6.67 ohm, which is exactly same that we got during our calculation. Now we will delete this ohm meter and place a voltage source of 10 volts here. So we delete the ohm meter. We will go to draw, input sources, and place 2 terminal voltage source and change its value to 10 voltage, and click OK. We will place our ground as well. Now the circuit is complete. As already conveyed, the green lines are showing the voltages while the yellow dots are showing currents. So now what we do is to check the currents of respective resistors and verify current divider rule. First we come here. We have 1.5 amperes is our total current and 6.667 ohms as our equivalent resistance. Coming to the 10 ohm resistor, we have 1 ampere voltage current drop here and its value is 10 ohms. The 25 ohms resistor has 400 milliampere current drop and the 100 ohms resistor has 100 milliampere of current drop. It is verified that the current is lower at the resistor of high value while current drop is high at the resistor of lower value. So current divider rule is verified. We have another method for verifying current divider rule as well, which is more good as we can see the value of current right on the ammeter. So we delete these wires and place our ammeter in these points. Now we will go to draw, outputs and labels, and click on ammeter and place ammeter here at all the 3 points. Here you can see that the value of currents are negative. You don't need to worry, the circuit and the placement of ammeter is perfect. All is that you have to reverse the polarity of ammeter and you will get the right values. Swapping the terminal will swap the sign of current. So here we have 1 ampere, 400 milliampere and 100 milliampere. So current divider rule is verified for this circuit. Now we will proceed to verify current divider rule for the second circuit. So for that we will go to circuits and check on the blank circuit to clear the screen. Our second circuit had 3 resistors connected in parallel series combination. So we will start building our circuit. First resistor was in series, the next 2 resistors were in parallel. The value of first resistor was 5K and the other 2 resistors were of 4K. Now we will connect the circuit with the help of wires. Remember that you connect each and every point of the circuit, else your reading will be not accurate. Now we will check our equivalent of this circuit. So we go to draw, output and labels, and place our ohm meter right here. You can see we have 7 kilo ohm as our R equivalent, which is exactly the same as we get in our calculations. Now we will delete the ohm meter and place voltage source of 28 volts here. So we delete the ohm meter, go to draw, inputs and sources, and place our voltage source here. But here you have to remember that you must place the voltage source so as its negative terminal is above and positive terminal downwards. Change its value to 28 volts. Click OK. Now we will place ground. We will place ground here. Here the green lines are positive voltages, red line are negative voltages, while yellow dots are flow of current. Now we come here. When we click here, we get our total current as 4 milliampere, which is the same. When we come to the first resistor, we get our current as 2 milliampere, and the next one we also have 2 milliampere, and voltage drop of 8 volts. And when we come here, we have 4 milliampere as current and voltage of 20 volts. Now the same circuit can be implemented with the help of ammeters as well, as we already saw in our previous circuit. So for that we will delete these two wires so as we are able to place our ammeter here. So we'll go to draw, output in labels, and we will place ammeter here and here as well. Now if we need to measure our current right here, we will place another ammeter here. Now you can see that the values here are in negative, so we will just swap the terminals of ammeters. You have to keep this arrow in the same direction in which the current is flowing. Now if you will place the ammeter in the opposite to the current flow, then it will show a negative sign. Now we need to verify the current divider rule. By looking at our currents, we can see that the current divider rule is already verified, because we have 2 milliampere here, 2 milliampere on this resistor as well, which are then combined here, which enters into the third resistor. As we are done with the simulation as well as theoretical knowledge, now it's time for your home task. For the given circuit, you have to verify current divider rule and do necessary calculations. You have to verify the calculations through simulations as well. Here you have the circuit having 12 volts as source voltage, 2.2 kilo ohm as R1, 4.7 kilo ohm, 5.6 kilo ohm and 10 kilo ohms. First you need to calculate R equivalent and then verify the current divider rule through simulation as well as calculations. This was all about today's lecture. See you in the next lecture. In case if you have any queries, please post it directly here or email it to me. Thank you.